Hey ho, it's Marco Cattaneo representing Charles Sturt University with yet another study aid for the subject ITI 597, the subject that covers IT service management. Hey, in today's topic, I would like to take a closer look at some of the objectives for the process problem management. So some of the objectives for the process problem management. Yeah, it's always good to start with a quote. So here's a quote for problem management. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with my problems a bit longer. Albert Einstein. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with my problems longer. Okay? So problem management. Yeah, the goal for the process problem management, it's funny because the ITIL volume actually doesn't mention a goal for this specific process in the service operation volume. Of course, it doesn't mean it doesn't have one. So here's my own goal. It says problem management, it needs to take full responsibility of all IT service related problems. So problem management needs to take full responsibility of all IT service related problems. It's about finding out why fires are happening and why incidents are happening and trying to prevent them from ever happening again. So rather than extinguishing them each time they happen. So it's about becoming more proactive rather than only being reactive. That's what problem management is all about. Yeah, here we go again. ITIL actually doesn't mention a purpose in the book for problem management. So here's my own. To improve the trustworthiness of the IT infrastructure. To improve the trustworthiness of the IT infrastructure by preventing interruptions to services, by removing recurring interruptions to services, and minimizing interruptions to services that cannot be prevented or removed. So it's all about improving the overall stability of the IT infrastructure by dealing with errors intelligently. Okay, it's all about improving the overall stability of the IT infrastructure by dealing with errors intelligently. Now, fortunately, the ITIL volume does mention a whole bunch of objectives for the process problem management, and they are key to this small video. Objective number 1, to prevent problems and resulting incidents from happening. To prevent problems and resulting incidents from happening. So this is mainly proactive, and actually the prevention is covered predominantly in the volume continual service improvement, because it's all about improving the IT infrastructure. The second objective is to eliminate and remove recurring incidents. So it's the reactive part of problem management. It's about resolving errors permanently and structurally so they don't happen again. The third objective is to minimize the impact of incidents that cannot be prevented. So they sit somewhere in between. I call them they're the incidents sitting in the twilight zone. So it's about establishing response scenarios. It's about creating agreed workarounds that take away or minimize pain in the organization. I mean pain felt by incidents occurring. We want to minimize that pain. Yeah, here's a silly example. Say we're talking about fires happening in computer rooms. Okay, fires happening in computer rooms and data centers. Then if I talk about preventing those fires, well, I can actually place my equipment in a completely oxygen-free zone. That means fires can't happen. That's prevention. Okay. To eliminate those fires, so to make sure they don't occur anymore, well, I can move my equipment to an oxygen-free zone. So they won't occur anymore. That's eliminating. Minimizing, well, I can make sure I've got fire extinguishers and sprinkler systems in place, and people are properly trained to extinguish fires causing minimal damage. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of preventing, eliminating and minimizing the impact of incidents, because that's actually what problem management is all about. Yeah, another example, software bugs or software errors. How do I prevent them from happening? Well, hopefully by applying some proper rigorous testing and getting some proper acceptance criteria in place. Hopefully you can prevent a whole bunch of these errors from happening. Eliminating, well, if you've got a whole bunch of errors, well, you want to fix them. So you want to apply a patch so those errors won't occur again. I mean, never again. So permanently fixing a bug in the software. And minimizing, well, if you can't find the error, but you know, for example, that a reboot really helps, well, you may say, like, no, let's do a reboot like every Saturday morning to at least minimize the pain during business hours. So again, we're talking about preventing, eliminating, and minimizing the impact of incidents. Yeah, problem management. I believe there's no such thing as an unresolvable problem. I think all problems can be resolved. And the issues are often like trust, time, money, patience, attitude, and also having access to the right information at the right time. But I strongly believe that all problems have a solution somewhere out there. You, Muskie, practice what you preach. Yeah, of course it's about understanding the objectives for the problem management process. Hey, see if you can describe some of the key differences for the processes like incident management and problem management. And here are some examples. Incident management, it's about finding a quick fix. It's about restoring services as soon as possible. It's about using diagnostic scripts. And 20% of the users, they often generate like 80% of the incidents. Whereas problem management, it's all about like finding the underlying root cause, like what's causing all these incidents. It's about actually improving services by rectifying all these errors. They actually create the diagnostic scripts that support, for example, incident management. And typically 80% of the incidents can be linked back or can be linked to like 20% of the problems. So by focusing on the right problems, you can actually eliminate quite a number of incidents. Okay, so see if you can find some more examples and have fun. Cheers. Here's a sample question. Which one of the following statements is incorrect? Answer A. Problem management is about finding structural solutions for recurring errors. Answer B. Compared to incident management, problem management is much more proactive. Answer C. Whereas incident management is all about speed, problem management is not. Answer D. 80% of the problems can be fixed by focusing on 20% of the incidents. You'll have a couple of seconds to think about the answer, and then as usual, we move on. So what's the answer? The answer is answer D. It should be 80% of the incidents can be fixed by focusing on the correct 20% of the problems. So answer D is actually incorrect. Okay, in the next topic, we're going to define and explain the basic concepts for the process problem management, all part of the volume service operation. Hey, until then, live long and prosper. Nano, nano. And as always, I'll be back.